Hi everyone. In this lecture we are going to talk about justify content. Now whenever the size of your grid is less than the size of the grid container, then we can use the justify content property to justify the entire grid. What I mean by the entire grid is all the grid rows and column tracks simultaneously and collectively horizontally in the horizontal axis or along the row or inline axis. Now this property only works if an absolute unit is used to create the grid, such as pixels. So what I've done is I've created this columns using pixels, 150 pixels, and I've created rows using pixel values as well. So if I save that, this is what we're going to end up with. So the section container, the container is spanning across the entire viewport width, but our columns being 150 pixels, 5 of them, they're 750. So they're right at the 50% mark. Now, if I go to inspect and if we take a look at our container, you can see that this background color, this actually specifies the container, but the grid, it ends right at this. Now, what we can do is we can move this grid collectively horizontal. So all of the grid rows and tracks, they could be on the left, in the middle, or on the right. So justify content is going to move all of them at the same time. So justify content, stretch is going to be the default value. And I'm going to give a height to our container. I'm going to give it a height of 80 VH. Let's save that. So now you can see that they're at one side. Now, the reason that I've given it a height is in our next lecture, we need to move them vertically. So you can see that. There we go. So stretch is the default behavior. Nothing changes. And now we could say justify content center. It's going to center them vertically. Now it is in the center. We could use justify content end. This is going to take them to end. We also have the start. So justify content start. It's going to come to the start of the container. We also have justify content space around, like we had it for flex, which basically means the same thing. So this space on the left of this first column is equal to the half of this space between column 1 and column 2, and so on and so forth. Justify content space between, all the space is going to be between the columns. And finally, we have justify content space evenly. Space is going to be even, it's going to be equal on all sides of the container. So with this, our lecture comes to an end. See you in the next one.